My name is Dustin Young. Born in Wheaton, Minnesota, grew up in Dumont, and I am an artist. Typically, the art that I work on is drawing medium, and so I tend to blur the lines between drawing and painting. Sometimes I consider my graphite drawings to be graphite paintings, and some other things that I work on that would be considered more painting medium, like watercolors, I consider more drawings. I love imagery that triggers the mind with different associations, and maybe imagery that holds back enough to where anybody can associate different things. So somebody can see one thing based on their own memories, and someone can see another. And then I can take my kneaded eraser, which all my drawings are kind of a combination of adding and subtracting, and so that layered effect kind of blurs edges and makes a really ephemeral quality of an image. And so I can add with the eraser and take some things out and really get highlight. Smoke is a motif that I've really been exploring lately, not only for its symbolic purposes, but it's allowing me to explore a lot of different things in terms of materials. So I can build space with it. It allows me to kind of play with graphite in a way that I wasn't able to before. I've turned graphite powder into an aerosol. I'm working with different layers. But the smoke is a motif that has shown up a lot in world and national headlines. And so I like the idea of playing with that symbol, and whether it's a positive or negative image, and kind of allowing the viewer to look at what I create from those headlines and interpret it through their own vision. I like to build these images, it depends on the materials that I'm working, really. If I'm working on this new automotive clear coat where I can build the image from back to front, so I start with the background and then I work my way towards either the top or the bottom of the image. And so as I work my way down the image, then it feels like it's coming out towards the viewer. And so by building my marks and allowing that, by building them both three-dimensionally, it allows for that illusion of space to the viewer. Right now I'm working on a really big commission for a kitchen in Denver. It's an old WPA Army Depot site that had many different uses throughout the years. There was even a circus campus where they held the circus every year. The building that I'm working in, that this project is for the kitchen for the old boiler building, which converted coal to steam, and so it was the power plant of the whole site. The kitchen has about 60 panels that are seen, and so I have to make sure that the drawing covers all 60 of those panels, and that's including drawer covers, panels, end panels, and cabinet doors. So it's the biggest project I've ever taken on, and by the bags under my eyes, you can probably tell. Growing up in Dumont was a really fun and interesting way to grow up. Dumont right now is only 120 people. No, 100 people. It used to be 120 when I grew up there. So slowly dwindling, but hopefully that there's might be an influx of farmers sometime soon with the next generation. But I think one of the biggest things that growing up in this area has influenced on my work is the appreciation of a hard day's work. But also growing up here, I really learned how to be good with my hands. So my grandfather's a farmer, my dad's a farmer. My grandfather is also a carpenter, and so I spent years in the summertime as a carpentry assistant, pounding nails and building that hand-eye coordination. And And maybe typically people from around here don't become professional artists, but I know there's a lot of really fantastically creative people in this area. The ritual around here that I've had to get used to, I remember waving at everybody, and then I'd go up to college in Fargo and wave at people on the streets. What's happening? So living all over the country, I've lived in Boston and Lincoln, Nebraska, and Denver, and even studied in New York for a little bit. Yeah, there's nothing like the Midwest where everybody waves just to be friendly. No reason, just to do it. So can't beat that. So I think as I've grown, art has served in many different roles in my life. But I think that number one, it's been almost a stress relief. Whenever I'm confused about anything, whenever I'm angry or anything, I can, put down in my sketchbook, which is basically a visual journal that I keep. I'll go with the intention of drawing for an hour, and I'll be gone for 12. And so, yeah, it's definitely a therapeutic act.
Postcards is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Additional support provided by Margaret A. Cargill Philanthropies, Mark and Margaret Yakel-Julien on behalf of Shalom Hill Farms, a retreat and conference center in a prairie setting near Windham, Minnesota. On the web at shalomhillfarm.org. Alexandria, Minnesota, a year-round destination with hundreds of lakes, trails, and attractions for memorable vacations and events. More information at explorealex.com. The Lake Region Arts Council's Arts Calendar, an arts and cultural heritage funded digital calendar showcasing upcoming art events and opportunities for artists in West Central Minnesota. On the web at lrac4calendar.org. Playing today's new music plus your favorite hits, 96.7 Cram. Online at 967cram.com.